Hello, it's Bambaji here with another gate transit. The wheel is turning and we are moving into gate 6. And gate 6 is the gate of conflict, the gate of friction. And you can tell right away, this one's going to be a lot of fun to explore. The 6th gate is deeply impactful. Really, it's the way in which it operates on this planet is quite extraordinary. It's part of tribal circuitry, and you can see that it's sitting here in the solar plexus. It's an emotional gate. So the reality of the defined emotional system is, of course, that it automatically becomes the authority in the design. If it is defined, then the 6th gate is part of your natural definition. The nature of conflict or the nature of intimacy. These are things that are inherent in you. The nature of the connection to the other. These are something that are natural for you, but can only be correct for you if you wait out the wave. You have to wait for clarity. If you've got that defined solar plexus, there is no truth in the now for any emotional being. When we look at the root of our intimacy and how we're designed to bond, we see that we're dealing with the 6th gate and also its harmonic gate, the 59, which gives us the channel of mating. This is a reproductive channel and it is deeply tribal. The 6th gate is also significant in that it is the source of the emotions that we experience in the solar plexus. It is the generator of all 3 emotional waves. So it is the source of our need, our desire, and our passion. It's the source of the emotional wave. It's the emotional motor. And being the source, the 6th gate is neither a need specifically of to say a need is neither a gate of passion or need or desire, not specifically, because it has access to all of those streams, those feelings. It can be a very difficult gate. And the 6th itself can have a lot of trouble displaying emotion because it's sort of got all of those. It's one of those where you'll see as we go on how important touch is for the 6th to be able to get in touch with their emotions. They can really feel how they feel. The energy of the 6th gate is the hope and the pain. It's a wave of intimacy. Its potential is the awareness of whether to bond or not. And you will see, if you look at the daily line transit, that this wave operates through every part of the line. There's a hope and pain aspect to each of the lines, whether that's in the exaltation or the detriment. They both go through the wave of hope and pain. So the 59th gate has the ability to break down barriers to achieve union. You might remember this, we saw it a few transits back. The 6th gate often, or maybe even usually, it has a connection with physical contact. This is where you can see if you're dealing with an emotional being, then it doesn't matter which channel is defining them, but you can usually tell, as long as it's not the 59-6, but any of the other channels, you can usually tell when that person is upset. Especially, of course, if you've got an open emotional system and you're absorbing and amplifying their emotions. Bear can nearly always tell when I'm upset. And it's nearly always not his fault. When it comes to the 6th gate, particularly when the channel is defined, the whole channel, it's often very difficult for them to tell unless they make physical contact. In that physical contact, it's that bonding that is made through the barrier being broken, and then emotions can be released and they can feel what they're feeling. So touch for the tribe anyway is important. And this is a tribal gate. It's in the defense circuit, but that's part of the tribal circuitry. And touch is really quite important for this part of the the body graph. That's the word, the body graph. On the other side, the splenic side, where the tribe goes through, it's a little bit colder. It doesn't have quite that same need to have the touch as part of its physical experience. So the sixth gate is part of the process of mating. It's fundamental, really. It's a fundamental component for the potential for intimacy. Biologically, the sixth gate is connected to our pH, to the pH levels in our body. So this is a gate that can be open and it can be closed as it regulates that pH balance. When it's closed to intimacy, that can mean conflict. When it's open to intimacy, it can bring mating and reproduction. It's a gate it controls who comes in and who is excluded. It controls the establishment of boundaries. The 59th gate on the other side of the channel there, it's the genetic strategies that we have to penetrate, to create that union, to bond with the other. But it is always up to the sixth gate whether or not that penetration is going to take place and whether in fact it will be fertile or not. And it will be up to the sixth gate to condition the environment of that intimacy because it is an emotional gate. And remember that intimacy and penetration and all of these words, they have that real sexual connotation, of course, but it's not just about that. We're talking about all the ways that we can bond, all the ways that we could have a fertility between us. There was a friend of mine she said she has another friend who's got the 659, and that's the only channel that she has. And she said she's always pregnant with new ideas. She's always full to bursting of new projects and all this. So it can be that kind of energy as well. It doesn't necessarily have to equate to that. Let me move that out of the way. To that sort of bonding thing. Out of bonding to the sexual thing. So, okay, so this is an important gate, the sixth gate, when it comes to the way that we interact. Both the 59 and the 60 are the 6 and the 6 are what we call roll gates. Forget I said 60, it's not 60. The 59 and the 6. The 59 is that whole thing about the strategies that we use for bonding. And these here in the sixth gate are the roles and the strategies that relate to handling conflict, handling intimacy with the other. Each of the 6 lines here, they give us a specific strategy for how we are designed to meet those energies of conflict or of friction. We may have one or more of them consistently activated in our designs, and so we may be fixed to a particular role. We may have this open in our design, and so therefore we can experience each strategy as the transit moves through them. But remember genetic continuity. You will have a resonance to whatever your profile lines are. I don't have gate 6 in my design, so I explore it through my profile, which is a 2-4 profile. Looking through those lines, this is how I can sort of experience this gate. So I go through the gorilla, which is not the ooh, ooh, ooh kind of gorilla. I could do a much better impression of that, not going to. It's the gorilla and the triumph, and those are the 2 that I go through, especially the 4th line, because I have so many of them in my design. So this is what I'll be able to explore as we go through this transit. So look at your own design and look at how this gate fits in with your design. Maybe you have 59. I have 59, as you might remember from when we did that one. So this is going to bring the whole channel for me. How's that going to feel? Have you got that? Maybe you have got an open solar plexus, and this is going to bring you a definition in the solar plex. So how's that going to feel? These are all little things that you can tap into in your experience, because it's all about you. It's all about how you experience this and what it brings to you. So many bondings in this world, are based on not self-decisions. It's not a judgment at all. It's just how it is in the world. Most people don't have this knowledge that we're exploring through human design, this amazing knowledge that we have. So they live in the homogenized soup out there in the world, and they haven't necessarily found the truth of who they are. They don't know about strategy and authority. So their mind is in charge of their life. Being unaware, they don't understand that there is no truth in the now. So when they bond in intimacy with the other, they do it spontaneously, generally speaking, over a few beers or vodka and orange, whatever your tipple is on a Saturday night. It's that kind of a spontaneous mating almost. It's something that Ra said it's always going to be incorrect in that sense. Ra said that the potential for offspring from anything like this is also going to be incorrect because it hasn't been entered into correctly in the first place. It's quite a sobering thought, really. It's quite a dilemma because our conditioning is not waiting. Our conditioning is the whole modern romance thing. It's the Hollywood story. It's the eyes meeting across the room, falling in love straight away, and it's forever, and you just get straight in there, and um, and that is a glorified relationship. It's based on a spontaneous connection, and yet it's clear from the nature of our design that if there is anything we should take our time about, it's who we are going to be intimate with. Above the lines in the Rei Ching, it says, the fundamental design component of progress, the law that growth cannot exist without friction. The progress that is mentioned here is about the development of the species, and it's tied into the fact that both gates in this channel are roll gates. And the 59 particularly is there to make sure that we produce enough genetically diverse offspring, which means that if you're a 6th gate, you are designed to be particularly attractive to those who are different from you, because that's what genetics demands. That's what the program demands. It doesn't want everybody to be the same. It wants the widest gene pool possible for the mutation to come in and take hold. So the 6th gate is all about, developing some kind of emotional discernment, the ability to be able to make clear emotional decisions. And that clear emotional decision is something that can only take place over time. The 6th gate carries such a powerful energy. The moment that somebody with the 6th gate steps into your aura, into your life, they kind of dominate your frequency because they come with the power of that emotional solar plexus motor, which stimulates growth, and it carries with it elements of all 3 waves. It's a really powerful gate. And it's quite amazing to watch somebody with this gate kind of control the mood in the room. They can just walk into a room and change the mood in there. And if they're unaware, of course, which generally speaking they are, then they don't know what's going on. And it's just, why does everything change and what's going on here? And other people around don't understand, and they don't know why they feel so much better when that person leaves the room, or worse, when that person leaves the room. And it's just part of the mechanic. And awareness can bring that sense of like, oh, okay, let's look at how things have changed with this 6th gate that's just wandered in. That makes me think of there was a whole series called oh, it's just gone right out of my mind. Oh, okay, it's gone. But it was all about this guy who had been kind of abducted, and he was in a village in Wales, and it was like, I am not, he was given a number. Nobody would refer to anybody by name there. Oh, what was it called? I'm gonna have to find out now. My empty head is going like, what does it call? I need to know. I need to know. Anyway, he was one of the big themes of the show was always, I am not a number. I am a free man. Anyway, so we have a gate 6 walking into the room. They are not a number. They are a free person. Yeah, sorry about that one. Nonsensical rabbit hole. Oh, it came in and went out again. Okay, I'm gonna have that for the first line when we actually look at the line breakdown. I can see is Patrick McGowan. Patrick McGowan, he was the guy who did it. Oh, an open head is a terrible thing. You will see each line in gate 6 resonates to a wave. Get back on track. Each line is, in that sense, it's a fundamental expression of each of the aspects of the wave. You could think of them almost as 6 different gears, operating through the motor of the solar plexus, and each of them are expressed through the lines of the 6th gate. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to try, but I've got the wrong light on. I look very orange. Turn this light on. I've been playing with a light that goes over the top of my screen. Okay. Vanity, vanity, all is vanity. The grounding of the 6th gate of friction and conflict comes through the 36th gate of crisis. It's called the darkening of the light. And you can see it here. It is sitting in the solar plexus. So we have more emotion, more emotion. It is part of the human experiential way. It's a collective goat. I do like a collective goat. It's a collective gate with the keynote of sharing. Going to share your goat. Crisis likes to be shared. Humanity likes to share all of this stuff. Oh, look, I've got this last modified. Okay, it likes to be shared. So we never have a crisis on our own. We don't generally have an experience on. We like other people to come with us. This is the whole thing about the collective. It likes to share. So it will share crisis, it will share intimacy, of course, and it will share its conflicts. Come to that. Okay, so perhaps it is in the sharing that a resolution can be found to the conflict, and then progress and change can come through. And progress and change are the qualities of the gate at the other end of the channel to gate 36. They are in gate 35. It can be really tempting sometimes to look at some of these gates and sort of feel a negative response to them or a negative reaction to them. Who wants to be defined by conflict and friction, And yet this gives us an opportunity to remember that there is no life without friction. Growth cannot exist without friction. And conflict is a part of the way that we relate to each other. It's a bit like provocation somehow, Conflict doesn't have to mean World War III. It can be as simple as trying to decide with your partner what you want to have for dinner and not really being on the same page with that, the same plate. Maybe you don't want goat. It could be a little bargain that gets broken. It could be, these are all conflicts. So if you carry this gate in your design, then you have really important energy that contributes to the survival of our species on this material plane. So thank you. Thank you for that. If you don't carry it in your design, then you have an opportunity here to explore these energies as we go through the transit of the sun over the next, well, it's kind of 5 days really, because line 1 and line 2, at least in the UK, are on the same day. We have one early in the morning, just after midnight, and then the other is just before midnight on the same day. So it's actually a shorter transit, this one. So yeah, I will leave you with this and enjoy your exploration of gate 6. If you would like to join me for the daily line transit, then please do so. I have a YouTube channel and also on Facebook, and we go through really the clue's in the title, isn't it? Sorry. We go through the transit line by line, and it's, well, I think it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it, and yeah, it sort of can illuminate things about each line as we're experiencing them that maybe you haven't come across before, and you haven't sort of, I think, oh, that's why that's going on in my life. So I invite you to join me. Would you like to join me? I'll be there regardless. I'm just informing you. You can come if you want to. You could be surprised. Okay, I'm going to find the off button. I need to stop talking. I will be back with line 1 very shortly. Otherwise, I will see you for the next gate, which is in, as I say, 5 or 6 days time, on the 6th day. Gate 46, the love of the body. But we'll be getting to that. We'll get to that. Go look at that now. Okay, take care, go gently, and have a good week.